If you're trying to make viral videos for your AI model, Kling Motion Control is one of the most important tools you must understand. But the problem is, most creators are using it wrong and it's killing your results. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to fix it and get smooth cinematic motion every single time. Let's do it.
The AI warlord.
Let's share my screen right here. Make sure we're sharing the right one. All right, so let's get the chat going here just to make sure that I say anything.
Cool. So first of all, let's start with the script. So I guess what I did first of all is there's this dude, what's his name? Sirio, whatever. I think it's in here, whatever. He basically had a reel that I saw, again, very similar, where he's like, this is motion control. I think he has himself turning into like Taylor Swift, and he turns himself old into a skeleton. And I was like, okay, like I could definitely do better to really showcase the potential of this stuff, because he didn't really do any sort of movement in his video. So I scripted all of this stuff, right? So again, we'll go through the reel afterwards. And again, if you haven't seen it, I've already put my Instagram in the chat. So you basically, for me, again, I just took what he did, made it a lot funnier, right? I'm like, okay, who are some viral personalities as well right now? Who are some people I really want to try this out with? Like, how can I make this as difficult basically for myself as possible, right? And again, like I said, with Flow, I sat down, even just the script, I'm like, okay, like once to bang out the script took me, a little bit of time. At first I did it one day and then did the recording another day and then finally recorded the next day. In the future, it'd probably be less complex, right? But I just really wanted to challenge myself with this first one. And it gave me a chance as well to really try out a lot of these new tools like motion control, and really just improve my editing skills as well. But with this, again, I came up with the script, right? I actually just took the script that guy had. I think what was the thing that I used for, was it this one? Not sort feed. I think it was called, like, it wasn't Miro. I'll find the tool before, but basically you can take this, you give it a reel, and then it transcribes it automatically. And then from there, I basically just, again, changed everything. Yeah, hey Sirio, exactly, that's who it is. So, and I believe he's like part of, what's it called, like Enhancer. I think he owns it, or he's like a partner in that. I'm not sure specifically, but yeah, that's who I'm talking about. So yeah, he had a reel. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make something very similar to his. So again, took his, but I wanted to relate it to, again, AI models. Even then, the model I created like wasn't the best looking one. I just had one where I created it recently, and I was kind of like, let me just create it good enough, right? That was feedback I had. It's like, oh, she's not pretty or beautiful enough. And I'm like, okay, I know. I just need to, again, get something out of the door, right? And even with motion control, one thing I noticed too is like I wasn't able to get it to it with motion control. It keeps a fixed background, so you can't actually change the background too much in terms of the movement of the camera, right? So I noticed right away, because in the first shot, I'm like, okay, let me, have this basically swinging motion. And then as soon as I did it, I'm like, okay, it's keeping the background static. Crap. So I had to use Kling Omni 1 to kind of try that. And I'm like, yeah, it's good enough. But again, it kind of reduced the quality of the model's face. She wasn't as pretty. It doesn't look as realistic. But again, I'm like, good enough at this point, right? So with this, again, I wanted to make it as funny as possible, right? So I'm like, cool, like here's the model, right? Here's the motion. I did some crazy movements and stuff. And then basically I'm like, cool, but that's nothing, right? That's just the movement. Let's switch her hair, right? To do that, I did in Nano Banana, which I'll go through in a second. And then after that, basically I'm like, okay, cool, let me be a superhero, right? I did Nebula from the MCU because there's one of my buddies who's really into, like, this is a good niche for you guys too. It's like, literally create like an AI girl, Nebula, and again, sell not safe for work content. Like, trust me, there's these guys out there. Like one of my buddies, he's like, oh my God, he likes, like, what's her name? Karen Gillan, this like redhead Scottish woman. Like he's like, loves her. And I'm like, oh, you like her? But he's like, yeah, like I like her, but like I like her as Nebula even more. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. Like, weird flex, but okay. And then yeah, from there, I'm like, okay, funny meme. I was gonna do Trump originally. Guys, like, everyone's done Trump at this point. Like, if you do Trump, like, you're so hack. I want to go on a little tangent here, guys. Little tangent. I'm sorry, guys. We're not going to get too political here, but how do I frame this? I don't really like stand-up comedy anymore. I found that like in 2012, I just stopped liking it, and I don't like it anymore because there's so many hack things and so many guys do the same things. So yeah, I just like people when they're naturally funny, right? Like when someone's naturally funny, that's really what I like. And I think that's why people relate to me is a lot of the time, right? People are like, you should do stand-up. And I'm like, I will never do stand up ever. Like, I just find that so hack. And everyone at this point has done the Trump thing. So with me, I'm like, dude, Maddie, if you do Trump, like, you're going to be so hack. So with me, I know this JD Vance fat meme went viral like a year ago or 6 months ago, however long ago was that. No, kill Tony. I'm sorry. Like, kill Tony, me and Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we can't be, I'm sorry, me and Tony. Like, again, I'm not going to get, we'll focus on this. I'm sorry. I like Red Band, honestly. Red Band's kind of funny. Because Red Band does some of this AI stuff too. So that's it, okay? That's it. But yeah, Fat JD Vance. I'm like, okay, Fat JD Vance, celebrity. I'm like, Kevin Hart, right? Okay, like, and I did that because my brother had this thing where he was like, a few years ago, he was doing these like Kevin Hart deep fake things, and I was like, that's funny. So I'm like, all right, my brother did that, I'll do that. And then Tate, obviously, I'm like, okay, like, people know like Tate, right? He's a polarizing guy. So I kind of was like, all right, let me switch through these characters, right? And then from there, I'm like, cool, like, people enough, but here's where things get buck wild, right? Let's do the outfit swap. So again, it went from like, you know, me and my suit. And again, this was all, I had to record this in one take. It took me so many takes to get this to say the script in one take. It was like, I don't know, 50, 60 takes just to do it once. And my arm kind of hurts after holding this like gimbal that I had to get the motion good to go. So yeah, I did that, right? Had the suit, change it to the War Machine armor, Scientist Lab, Pikachu onesie. So again, once I figured this out, I'm like, okay, for the freezing effect, I had to take an image and then basically prompt it a few times in Nano Banana and even give it a reference image of like, what's his name, Jack Nicholson in The Shining, being like, hey, here's a man, make this man freezing, you know, with a crazy background. And then for Tokyo, basically, you know, was just going to do Tokyo. And then I'm like, you know what, I could probably change myself into Vegeta as well, right? So that's what I did from there. And then lastly, I'm like, okay, you know, let's change it to Hagrid at Hogwarts, basically saying you're a wizard, Maddie. And then I'm like, you know what? It would be better if I just said Warlord, right? It would probably be, again, a little bit of pun. People would say, you know, you're the AI Warlord, cool, right? And then again, I tried to make it to at the end so that it loops back together with me pointing. Didn't work out perfectly, but good enough, right? So that's kind of my thought process through the scripting, right? Now, to actually make everything happen, again, I had to record everything in one shot. So I'll go to CapCut and kind of show you the timeline first of all. So here's the timeline, right? We have the original video on the bottom here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So we have the original one, right? And again, there's only little cuts here because in some cases it was just to make it easier for the sound. So this was basically one take. And then again, this one I did in Omni, which you'll see in a second. So again, I did this in Kling Omni because again, you'll notice the face isn't as good as it could be, right? There's a couple of spots where the lip sync is as good. There's like one little tooth artifact right there you'll see. So again, right there, you can see there's an artifact as well. But when I didn't use Kling Omni, you'll see with this, it actually changed the background, right? Whereas with motion control, it doesn't add it as well. And again, I'll show you some downsides in a second, right? For the captions, I use just AI generated captions. They have that feature in CapCut, which I like, right? Again, just save me a lot of time. And I just use, again, the browser version here. And then for each of these, basically, again, I did each of these in Kling. So this was one take where, again, I tried to make it as ridiculous as possible, make my hands move, make my face move and head move, and then just, you know, do some basically look like, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, artistic, so to speak. And then from here, I'm like, yeah, blonde, you know, redhead. For each of these, again, I had to create the images in Nano Banana. I'll show you in a second. Prompted a few times, get it to change the hair color from blonde to redhead to multicolored. And then finally with Nebula, this one I had to do like 3 or 4 generations, I think, because it wasn't good enough. And one thing I noticed too with Nano Banana, which I'll show you guys, is like, you have to be so specific. Like you have to be like, hey, change the head, the face, and the neck. Make sure the neck goes into like the hoodie properly. And again, you'll notice it changes some stuff. And then you also have to be like, remove the hair, because it had Nebula and then it had my hair in the background. So I'm like, okay, I have to prompt it to remove my hair, and then tell it to keep the background basically exactly the same. And then again, JD Vance, like this one, just, I don't know, this one was like, when I got this take, I'm like, wow, like that literally is the JD Vance fat meme, right? All these like, you know, liberal people, I'm sure they're like crying. They would see this like, oh, is he right wing? And it's like, I'm no wing. Like what was it? One of my favorite rappers, Sage Francis, he had this line where he's like, I'm not right wing or left wing, I'm the middle finger. And I always love that. I'm like, haha, that's like the way that I kind of look at the world. It's like, yeah, like you're just kind of, you know, looking at all the chaos, eating popcorn, being like, ha ha ha, ha, crazy people that exist in the world. So went from there, right? Kevin Hart one didn't turn out as good as I want. It wasn't like, it didn't match up perfectly, and I would have had to regenerate a bunch. And again, I was in flow, and I'm like, dude, good enough, good enough, good enough. Just like keep going, right? And then again, the Tate one, I was like, oh man, again, this one, I was like, wow, it looks good. Could have made it a little bit better. So you guys might be wondering, like, why didn't you switch the voice? Again, I thought it would be better. Like I switched the voice in a couple of places at the beginning and end, where I just added kind of me talking and then the model talking. I did all that in 11 labs. So that's one thing I did, just has kind of a hook as well. And then from there, basically, it just was like, you know what, this space here, I could be Tate, but I'm talking. I'm like, what's a random thing I could put? Like, you know what, I like dragons, right? I used to be into this artist like Ciro Cabral. I used to get his calendar every year before they stopped, for whatever reason, producing them here in Canada. So I'm like, you know what, like maybe just get a crazy, so I'm just like, put my head with green dragon. First image I found, I'm like, good enough, put it in motion control, boom, good to go, right? And then from there, I'm like, cool, change my outfit. Here's my suit, put me in this suit, done. Here, put me in this armor, done. Put me in this scientist coat, done. Put me in this Pikachu onesie. And again, with these ones, you'll notice the background, it isn't as smooth as the back, okay? So the back in the original on the top, you'll notice again, smooth motion. And I thought it would move, but again, with motion control, it's not there yet. Probably with Kling 3.0, it will be there, I would say, but we're not there yet. And then again, Frozen Me, I had to prompt to change the background first of all, because you'll notice like the snow isn't actually going down. That's one thing, it's the snow is static. And yeah, I thought motion control would change that, but I was like, good enough. And then you'll see in a minute, I gave it a reference image. And then yeah, the Dubai image here, I just prompted myself. Then I'm like, you know what, like let me put some cool Versace. I literally took the same sunglasses as my mentor as kind of an ode to him. And yeah, I was like, put these, sorry, these are Louis Vuitton. Sorry guys, my bad. Louis Vuitton. These are Louis Vuitton sunglasses, not Versace. How dare you? All right. And then for Tokyo, put myself in this like Raiden, it's like black, what are these things called? A bamboo casa, I believe it's called. And with this, the lips you'll notice aren't as good. With this one too, it like made me a little bit fatter and chubbier than I, am naturally. But again, I am, I have a little bit of extra weight right now that I'm working on with Insanity. And then from here, I'm like, okay, like I'm going to change myself I tried to do Bugs Bunny, by the way, for this one here for the dragon. I couldn't get it to work for some reason. I'll try in the future. I'm sure it's possible, but I'm like, who's a really good, Japanese anime, right? And then I'm like, Vegeta. And I'm like, Vegeta. Like literally one of my favorite like characters of all freaking time. I'll answer all your questions all the way back after, guys. I'm just in flow right now going through this. But yeah, basically, change this, right? And then again, use motion control to basically change, me into Vegeta. And again, you're going to notice the hands aren't properly, which I'll go through in a minute for some of the pitfalls. And then with Hagrid, I just basically, had like an image of Hogwarts, changed myself into Hagrid, right? Gave it the reference image, did the motion control, was like, it would be cool, if I talk, if I have him tell me up there because he's looking at me, and then I tell him, kind of a little back and forth dialogue between the two, right? So what did he say? Basically, like, and because I think the classic line in Harry Potter is like, you're a wizard, Harry. And he's like, I'm what? And he's like, you're a wizard, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to, have kind of the same thing. But I'm like, he could call me a wizard, but wouldn't it be better if, I'm a warlord? Like, I'm the AI warlord, makes more sense. So kind of, again, talk back and forth. And then at the end here, I wasn't going to do this originally. I changed it to these two guys. So again, these are like political commentators. This guy's like, I don't even know if he's like right wing at all, like Asmongold. He's a big streamer, like one of the biggest streamers in the world. And then we have Hassan, who's been in trouble, and they kind of feud each other, right? Hassan, who, allegedly shocks his dog, Kaya, that you'll see there in the background. Again, not picking sides here, guys, just, leaning into it, because I'm like, okay, if one of these guys sees it, they could potentially talk about it on their stream, and then they could, comment on it. And again, that just, makes it go even more viral. And then obviously I added Joe Rogan at the end. The Joe Rogan one didn't work out. He looks like, kind of a little bit too glitchy, looks like a little bit more Italian and older than he did after the generation, but I'm like, good enough sort of thing, right? And then again, had the outro part here where I added her voice. What does it say? It's like, so I have her voice, had to again generate the voice in 11 labs, put it here in the timeline you'll see down here. And with what you do is, so what I do, one tip is I generate the voice in Kling. So I keep the voice, and then what you do is you click here and you can either split the audio. I've already removed the audio, so you can recover the audio for each of these clips, but you split the audio, you delete the original, and then basically you'll see here right at the beginning where it has basically me saying something and then her. So for these, I separated the audio of me and then of her, and then deleted the one for her for here, added the one for me saying it, added one for for her, and then me, and then her again. And that's basically, you know, kind of the hook at the beginning, right? So, right. So again, that for me, I'm like, okay, that's a good hook just to get people's initial attention, right? So, so yeah, that's kind of a breakdown of the timeline. Now to actually do this, right? So creating the images, I basically had to, I think I talked about this tool last week. So lastframe.ai. So this is really good in your first and last frame workflow. So with this, what you do is you literally go here, let's see, do I have something here? I don't know, we'll use this as an example. So this is a Gary Vee video that he's talking about AI influencers that I'm going to react to and put that as a video. So with this, I can upload the video here, and then I can extract the first and last frame, right? So again, if you're doing a first and last name workflow, whether that's in Kling, VO 3.1, One 2.2, I think even Runway, Higgsfield obviously has that feature as well. This is good because you can go here, extract first and last frame, and now you have the first and last frame, right? And then again, you can download those and then create, you know, those, stitch them together, right? Create those, what are they, 5 or 10 second videos that you can create in Kling or any of those other ones. That's one option. Or you can do manual extract, so you can find the specific frame that you want and download it, right? This just saves so much time, like, because otherwise I would have to, again, if I wanted this frame, it's like, okay, cool. Like go here, capture area in mono snap, right? Get it absolutely perfect, right? Like lining it up here, getting it perfect. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, I guess I have to redo it, right? With this, perfect every time. It's just, again, one little part of my workflow where I'm like, okay, this is going to be way better, right? So that's what I did with all of these, right? I just took my video that I had originally, right? I think I've deleted the majority of the original ones from the video as of right now, just because they were taking too much space, but took these with my video, right? Added that, like uploaded the specific clip I want to, I didn't take the whole video and upload it here. What I did is in QuickTime, what you can do is, I might even just be able to do an example. Hold on, let me stop sharing for a second. So in QuickTime, bear with me. Just want to make sure I don't have too many things open. QuickTime does glitch sometimes. So let's see, QuickTime. Okay, cool. So let's open something in QuickTime. I don't know, give me any. So, let's go. Let's hurry up, bro. Let's go, dude. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So, nice. Oh, that's a PNG. So that's not a video. We'll just use the Gary Vee one. So open. So I have the file again. I'll show you guys my screen in a second. So I have the file in Finder, by the way, on Mac. I'm putting open with. I could open with mono snap, which would do by default, but I'm opening with QuickTime Player. What I love about QuickTime Player is this feature, which I'll show you guys. So, so you guys can probably see the QuickTime. Hopefully you can see it now. Just let me know if you guys can see the QuickTime Player with Gary Vee talking about AI. He's talking about AI. He's obsessed with AI. All right, so with this, what you can do is you can actually trim the specific parts. That's why I use QuickTime here, because you can't do this in mono snap. So you actually have the video here. You go up here under edit, you hit trim. And now from here, I can trim it to the specific parts that I want. But if you actually hold it, right, it'll open up. So you can get very specific, right? And then so what I would do is I would do like the first 3 seconds, right? So for the first 3 seconds, for example, I would have 0 to this. And then I would go back here, right? Put it at 3 seconds. Right, trim, and then what I would do is I would save it, and then when I save it, I would put the time that I put, so 0 to 3, right, and then I would put like 0 to 3, like 300, something like that, right? And then again, this way, when I know, because this way, when you're actually pulling up these little, you're small chunking it, because again, you're not gonna go into motion control and do the whole thing again. It's just gonna look too janky, and then again, this way it just really keeps people a lot more engaged, right? Just again, makes it a lot more entertaining. So then from there, like I said, I would try these. And then I'll show you guys some of the things that I noticed as well when editing the video. I'll actually talk about this right now. So you'll notice in some cases, like when you do this, when you do the motion control after, it might have like a couple of like 5-10 seconds of where it doesn't match properly, where the sync didn't go properly. So what I would do is, if I would save this one as 0 to 3, the one I would do after this, I would add an additional, probably like at this point, like 15, 20, milliseconds per before that. So I would start this one at, 2 seconds and 80 or 2.8 seconds, basically. That's what I'm trying to say here. And then that would go to, 5.8 seconds, right? And then the one after that, again, I would reduce it by another 15, 20 milliseconds or whatever those is, hundredths of a second. I would reduce those because, like I said, you'll notice where it doesn't match up properly, right? It kind of takes out a few of the frames when you do motion control. So with this, again, this just makes it, you know, work a lot smoother, right? Look at the Kevin Hart one specifically, you'll notice it isn't matching as perfectly, and this is kind of where I noticed that. I'm like, oh, okay, this is where I noticed that that problem happens. But yeah, that's just one thing I want to mention. But this is really how, again, you small chunk those scenes, then again, I just stitch them together into CapCut, right? So that's kind of one thing that I do. Again, that just gets you those scenes. And then to get those frames that I showed you before, so what I do is, again, I would screenshot something like this, and then I would just go into, you know, wave speed basically, right? So I guess we'll go back here. And again, we'll go through back to the very beginning, and you'll see some of them. So for the changing hair, again, all I did is like, hey, here's my model, change her hair for redhead. Cool, change her hair to rainbow colored, basically, right? And then for this one, again, this was the first frame that I used, right? Just downloaded this frame, and then again, just swapped my head, was basically like, hey, swap my head. One thing I should have done though is like, hey, you know, swap my head, remove hair from the man in image 1, right? And, you know, keep only the hair, because you'll notice there's still some of my original hair. Luckily, the model and I have the best hair in the entire world and the same hair color, so sorry, I'm so stupid. And then from here, what I noticed is I didn't prompt this one properly, and, you know, it showed kind of a little bit of, you know, cleavage here as well. And there's a lot of motion blur you'll see as well in the background, right? Because again, it was kind of, you know, an image. And if you guys don't know what motion blur basically is, it's like, you know, when you're using the camera, it's all the stuff is, it's capturing the blurred motion basically. That's kind of a no-brainer here. Yeah. Motion blur is blurred motion. Yeah, that was stupid. But yeah, it's basically, you know, blurring the background stuff, right? It's still keeping that, what the main thing in focus, but it's blurring a lot of the stuff in background because there's movement there. So keep this in mind, right? But again, it added like her outfit. It still added my hoodie, but it still, you know, added her outfit before with the cleavage. That was one thing I noticed with this one. Again, it basically took the hair, but then added my hair. So this one, I'm like, okay, I need to prompt out my hair, right? I started doing that. This one, again, the blonde one was good to go. This one, again, the redhead, good to go. Multicolored one, this was like one take. I'm like, cool, good enough, right? Nebula, you'll see here, right? Again, looks kind of janky, right? Doesn't have the eye thing as well that she has, like this ocular thing has my hair as well. And I'm like, this, I could probably use this, but I'm like, I could do better. So again, prompted it a few times, got it to remove the hair. Here, we can actually look at we'll look at the structure of the exact prompt I used, just so you guys have that. So here was it. Replace the head and face of the man in image 1, right? Again, it was basically just a picture of me with the head of Nebula in image 2, right? Remove the brown hair from the image 1, so the man's fully bald head. So the man, see, I can't even type, is seen in the image. Keep the facial expression, background, outfit, lighting, and the same. So yeah, I added a few extra words. It understood what I want. It gave me this image. I'm like, again, good enough to go. Maybe again, there's a little bit of a neck artifact here, but I was like, and even then the hand, I'm like, it has my arm. I'm like, good enough, right? Again, just showcasing what AI is possible of creating at this point. For the JD Advanced one, this one took a few. Again, the hair, right? I didn't prompt it out. This one, I'm like, okay, again, too much motion blur. This one, I'm like, okay, this is good enough. And then yeah, once I had this one, I'm like, okay, this is the one. It still had, because I think the original image has this like blue screen in the background. It still had it, but I'm like, good enough sort of thing, right? And again, I'm kind of like, I still want it to, you know, be relatable to the meme. All the guys who know this meme, they'll understand it. Kevin Hart one, first generation, basically was just like, you know, make me into Kevin Hart. And then for the Tate one, again, added the hair in the background, looked too glitchy, then created this one. I'm like, okay, like this one's crazy. Bugs Bunny, again, had the neck. I tried to prompt it to have a thicker neck, and then I'm like, oh, this is sweet, looks good enough. And then I tried to do the motion control and it didn't work. So that's just one thing, right? The dragon, again, just like replace this with, you know, kind of a green dragon, where that one worked, right? This one, again, put me in this, gave it the image of the suit that I wanted, right? Here, put me in this suit, done, right? Here's the War Machine armor, put me in this armor, done. Here's a scientist lab coat, put me in that, keep my hoodie underneath, done. The Pikachu one, this one wasn't the best. I wanted my hood over, so I had to reprompt it a couple of times. And then I tried with this angle, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. In the final shot in the video, you know, it's this shot, so it took this, and then yeah, I made it so that my hair comes out as well. But I mean, looks crazy realistic, to be honest. I can't even believe Nano Banana can do this stuff for this one. So I had to give it the Jack Nicholson Frozen. So basically gave it this from The Shining, was like, here's the reference, you know, make me frozen like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Where was I? And then yeah, basically I gave it like a background as well, put me in the background. And then, yeah, basically gave me this image, and then again, did everything in motion control. The Vegeta one took a little bit of time because it kept putting me like with the Casa hat, and then it also kept showing him like full body. I tried to do this as well with these people, by the way, and it just didn't work out. So yeah, this is kind of why. And one thing too is I had to keep prompting it to remove the red couch behind me, right? So yeah, I kept like adding the red couch, and I'm like, how does it know? I don't know how it knows. The AI is so crazy. I don't know how it knows like what, it just takes a little bit of that couch and somehow creates the whole couch out of that. Like that literally is the couch. Like I don't know how it does this. It's absolutely insane that it does this somehow. Like when I saw this, I'm like, no, but like you're really impressing me with what you're doing. And then so yeah, this one again didn't have the hair, so I had to prompt out, remove the hair, add the Vegeta neck, right? And then I got this one, right? And I'm like, okay, this is it, right? He still even has his, red suit underneath. And then yeah, basically the Hagrid one again, just gave it, still added the red couch in the background, so I had to prompt it to remove it. And then yeah, this one again, just gave it the Hogwarts background basically. And then so basically created these, right? Went into Kling Motion Control. So we'll go into, where was it? Kling Motion Control. So let's go back to each of these. We'll go back to the very beginning. So the first one I generated here, you'll notice again, the background doesn't switch, right? It just, but in the original one, I'm moving the phone kind of like this, right? So it's just keeping the static background, which I'm like, okay. So that I'm like, okay, good enough. Like, I just had to basically figure out how to get it to move the camera, because that was part of the hook that I wanted. And then again, started creating the ones of the blonde, created the ones of the redhead, the multicolored one. Had to generate a few of these because I think the hands were a little bit glitchy. This is one thing too, I think with Kling, it's like you want the image. So where is it? Motion control. So there's two options with Kling, right? You can use character orientation matches video, and then character orientation matches image. All right. So I've played around with this. I just noticed that like the camera will move slightly more if you have the video version versus the image. That's one thing. But you need to make sure that I knew you were going to say casting couch, by the way. I knew you were going to say that. And that's why I'm like, oh, I knew someone's going to say that. All right. Darn, yeah. It's like, yeah. Anyways. So yeah, like, you need to make sure that the image has, and it even has, I think, in their user guide here. So you need to make sure that like the hands are in there, because otherwise they're gonna kind of add these random hand gestures out of nowhere. That was one thing that I noticed, right? It's like you need to make sure that in the image you give them that like, there are actual hands. Like in the video here, this one worked because I don't think she shows her hands at all. Or she does, okay, never mind. So bad example there, but like sometimes you might just notice again, you generate it and it has a weird hand thing. So if you want there to be the right hand movements, like you just need to make sure again, like you actually give it the placement of the hands. It may even again, just add those randomly. I've noticed again, this is new technology. So, there are going to be glitches. I'm sure with the newer versions, these won't exist, but that's just one thing to keep in mind, right? Like if the hands aren't properly in the image reference, right? Like it could add them potentially in there, right? Specifically when you're doing, the orientation matches the video one. That's just one thing that I noticed as well. So just one thing to keep in mind. So yeah, again, we went through these, right? Multicolored hair, blonde. And then for this one, this was the final one. Again, I used Kling Omni for this one. Or sorry, what was it? This one. And you'll notice like it distorted her face a little bit, like here, right? Actually has her skin color. This one, it made her skin color dark and her eyes look a little bit weirder. And even then like the motion control doesn't work yet, right? So I used Omni for this, right? This tool here. And with Omni, basically you'll notice you just, again, you give it like, where was it? So I'm basically like replace the man in the video that I gave with the woman in the image, right? And I think I used transform for this specifically. Oh, they already changed the layout here. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, I used transformation here and then just uploaded the video, add the image. And then again, this way you can be very specific, right? This is why, again, this tool like Omni, I think is like really, Kling is just absolutely insane. Like they're really ahead of everyone else on a lot of this technology. I think with elements, what is it? You can just give it a bunch of elements. It's like, hey, here's this person, put these sunglasses, this dress, put this dog in there, put them in this background, and it just creates a video based on those elements that you give it. Image to video, we already know what that is. And then I don't know if it shows the other ones. It does. Okay, so video reference, yeah, we already know what this. You again give it a video reference, right? You give it some text and some other images, right? And it basically generates the next shot from what you have, right? So it's like, hey, here's shot 1, create the next shot after that as well, right? So that's what I did with that. This one, again, I told it not to, I gave it my model, but I forgot to prompt it to, you know, keep the outfit the same. So it kind of, you know, kept her tank top there. So that was this one, the Nebula one. Again, this one worked out like perfectly. The skin texture is like insane too. The fact that you can generate this on like Nano Banana and then Kling keeps like the skin texture. I don't think in the background, like I'm looking at the background and I can see, yeah, I can't even see her in the background, the reflection. And this one, I don't think I can see. This one again, the movement wasn't good. And it had this like glitch on the top. And then finally this one with the blue, I'm like, okay, good enough. Kevin Hart, yeah, that one's good enough. Tate, good enough. This one, the Bugs Bunny one, you'll notice it doesn't do it. It has this weird like head in the background, which is why I'm like, nah, this is not it. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with this. And that's when I'm like, okay, let's just try this dragon out, right? Dragon worked very well. And then again, the outfit changes, right? Just very straightforward. Just again, gave it the motion control, had the original, gave it the original one. So for the frozen face, I tried to prompt it originally. And then it gave me this. I look like that girl where she ate the blueberry thing in Willy Wonka, right? And turned into that big blueberry thing. And I'm like, why do I look like that? I'm like, oompa, loompa, doopa dee doo. I've got another reel for you. So yeah, it was basically like that for some reason. So that one was weird. This one, it didn't change me at all. And I'm like, why am I not cold? I tried to add a freezing effect, didn't work. And then finally with this one, I'm like, okay, I just need to, you know, prompt the image in Nano Banana, as I was doing, go back here, you know, run it one time. Good to go. Dubai one, had to give it a background of like the Burj Khalifa, kind of at this like fountain. And then again, prompted it in Nano Banana, add these sunglasses to me, right? And then with these ones, I think, so this one was like glitchy as hell. You'll notice, like, look at these, like, this one, I'm like, oh, this is too, like, what was that lady doing there? She like, what happened there? Like, look at that. Her like arm goes and like, what is happening? It's like this arm coming out of her head. So again, I was like, this isn't good enough, right? Again, it looks kind of like that Will Smith AI one from a couple of years ago. So I'm like, no, we can't have that at this point, right? So again, prompted it properly, gave it, you know, the Japanese lights. And then again, this was good enough. Used Vegeta, and he's like, I can't believe how good the AI is. It's so powerful. So we had that, and then, yeah, we had Hagrid. And then, yeah, we had Asmongold here. Again, I basically went to his YouTube video, took a screenshot of that. Boom. Same with Hassan, took a screenshot of his. Boom. Same with Rogan, took a screenshot of his episode, and then basically had the outro, right? So again, took all that, created all these assets here, right? And then again, went into CapCut, basically, you know, did this whole thing, right? And again, this is like, I guess I'll play it once just for you guys here. Since we're here, I need to stop sharing to enable the sound to be good to go. Here, hold on 1 second. Where is it? Share, show sound, done. All right, so we'll play it one time for you guys, just so you can see the file results. And then again, I added the time stuff, which I created in 11 Labs. Again, you guys know 11 Labs, right? I took the original audio. Oh yeah, this is the part for I'll just talk about this before I run it. So remove audio. This is a free tool you can use. So remove vocal and isolation. So all you do for this is you go here, you find your file. Where is it? I'm trying to find the Gary Vee one. No. Yeah, so you just go here basically, and all it does is it creates 2 tracks. It creates one for the music, and then one for the vocal one, right? If there's multiple levels too, I don't know if it creates like multiple channels specifically for different instruments. There's other tools I believe that do this, right? And even then it shows you what key it's in, and you know, it's here. So over here, you don't need to worry about this. All you do is when you save it, just make sure you choose the vocal option here at the bottom. And like I said, what you need to do is take that original audio, right? Remove that. Now you have the MP3 version. You go into 11 Labs. Oops. Voice changer, right? Upload your audio file, and then again, choose the voice you want. I think, yeah, I chose Sammy, and yeah, basically just again, change this. I think with this too, I did maximum. These were the exact settings actually that I used, right? I kept it at, if you do too much style exaggeration, it just, again, you'll see it leads to instability. So I just keep this at 50%, because this way it kind of if you don't add a lot of the style exaggeration, I notice it like just makes it boring, like one of those boring AI robotic voices. So again, I want it to be, you know, I wanted to emphasize a lot of stuff, make it entertaining. So, you know, increase the stability, made sure that it was similar at the same time to the original, and then created that. And then again, basically stitch everything together, right? So that's the workflow that I used to create this. So again, this is, you know, this is the craziest
AI tech
that I've
seen in a while.
Check this out. See her? She's copying everything that I do right now. Every single move that I make, she makes. It's kind of a bit creepy, honestly. I can change her to whoever I want. Blonde, redhead, even multicolored. Ooh, I feel like a kid in a candy store. But why stop there? Watch this. I could be a superhero character. I'm every inch the warrior you are. I could be a funny political meme. You should have said, please, Mr. Zawinski. A celebrity. I'm not short. I'm concentrated awesome. Even a polarizing figure. Ha 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 ha. What color is your Bugatti? Insane, huh? But this is where things get absolutely buck wild. Check this out. I can change my outfit from this to this to this to this. Seriously though, it's that overpowered. And I'm freaking freezing here in frigid cold Canada, so you know what? Let's take a trip to warm Dubai. That's much better. Then, why not grab some sushi and experience some Japanese culture out in Tokyo? Konnichiwa, domo arigato. Finally, let's make some magic happen at Hogwarts. You're a warlord, Maddie. I'm what? You're the AI warlord. So yeah, this is what AI can do right now. Pretty mental.
Follow along
if you want to see. Trade.
Matty, you're muted, mate. If you can hear me, you're muted.
Shit, sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
So yeah, I wanted to go through a couple of the errors first of all. So I already mentioned the first thing with basically the overlap here, right? So again, when you clip these, make sure that you give it, you know, a few seconds before, right? Because you'll notice like it doesn't match properly. Like the Kevin Hart one specifically, I think like he moves a little bit faster than I am. So you need to kind of, you know, go back a few seconds when you clip these in quick time. Okay, so that's one thing you'll definitely need to just watch out for is, again, give it, you know, give yourself a few seconds, because this way, like, again, you're going to have these spaces between it. It's not going to match up properly. So this way it'll overlay. I try to use transitions, right? Because there are transitions you can use, but again, like it didn't look right. I'm like, okay, it doesn't look smooth in terms of that. I talked about this with start frame and end frame too, where basically with start frame and end frame, when you do that, you'll notice when you do start frame and end frame, if you think about it, when you're stitching those two frames together, right, you have two frames, right? So I noticed when I first created, I'm like, why is there this like flash and stutter between them, right? And then no one else, I look for every guru out there talking about this. No one talked about this. You need to actually go and manually delete one of those frames. I found that like doing the one at the end really just worked a little bit better. So this way, again, you don't have duplicate frames, and it removes that stutter. Because I'm like, why is there a stutter when I stitch them all together? And then I'm like, maybe it's this, right? So I had to kind of, you know, think about it. I'm like, oh, right, it's because there's a duplicate frame. So if I just delete it, oh, okay, and it removed the stutter. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you do the start and end frame stuff, right? Whether that's, again, Higgs field, Kling, VO3, whatever it is, just one thing to keep in mind, right? When you stitch them together is you'll have that when you actually get to the point where you need to edit them all together. So that was one thing. I talked about the watermark though. So the watermark I had this glitch in Kling that was driving me so crazy, where you'll see it has this watermark here for no reason. And even then I'm in the pro plan and I have it toggled. So it's like without watermark, I'm like, yes, it's toggled on. And then I'm like, why does it still have the watermark? So I had this back and forth for this whole week with Kling, and they finally fixed it today. So now the watermark is gone. And the thing that made me like this watermark thing made me even crazier, guys. When I exported this file, it had the CapCut logo on it. And I'm like, why does it have the logo? Like, what's happening here, right? And I was like, I was going crazy, so I had to actually like upgrade to a paid account because apparently, you know, like the free one doesn't allow you to do that. So just keep in mind, like, you know, you do need to, in some cases, if your video is a little bit longer or you've been using CapCut a lot and exporting a lot of video, they may have the watermark on there, and you may need to, you know, upgrade your plan as well, right? So those two things with the watermarks, again, I'm not going to post anything if it has the watermark. I put the toggle on AI generated too when I posted it to Instagram, right? I don't think I added a location. I just added a very simple like caption, just like follow the AI warlord for more. And then for the captions, they have good auto-generated ones in CapCut, but you'll still need to again go through and kind of make them match in some cases. Like they'll auto-generate, but you still need to edit them to make them hit at the right points as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And even then, like I added, you know, some manual ones. Like I think on the Tate one, I added this as a joke where it's like, he laughs maniacally, you know, and then he inhales stoically. That was just, you know, kind of, I thought that would be funny, so I added that. But yeah, guys, that's really a breakdown, I would say, of this whole, I guess, workflow. Let me go through and answer all of your questions right now. All right, so yeah, kill Tony, we already talked about that. I've worn a balaclava when creating my video, trap hair and get rid of my beard. Balaclava when creating my source video, trap hair and get rid of my beard. I guess it traps your hair and get rid of it? Sorry, I don't understand. So you had to generate multiple images, then Kling Motion Control or Kling Omni and just layered the bottom frame of those videos. Yeah, basically like so this one again is the original video that I had, like just one take that I did about 1.5 minutes. And then the bottom one is just, as you'll see in the timeline, it's just all those ones. So this is the original one, basically just made that fill up the top, and then the bottom just added all the ones that I created, like the final version of those ones from Motion Control before, you know, in Nano Banana, that whole workflow I just showed, and then basically just put those on the bottom as well. And then some of them were Omni one that I had to create. It was really only this one here, because you'll notice, right, again, the background does move in this one, but it did lower the quality in her lip sync in this one. So that's one thing, right? If you do want it for the background to move, you need to use Omni because Motion Control isn't there yet. Motion Control will copy what you do, but it doesn't copy necessarily what the camera does as well. I haven't tried it in Higgsfield as of yet, but you know, maybe that is possible as of right now. This one I think I just did. This one I just did Motion Control at the end because again, the last frame it just had the camera static in the background, so that one made sense. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing in a nutshell. Yeah, Vegeta is a cool character who's always gotten shafted in the series. He has never beaten a single major villain. They did him dirty. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Vegeta is like, that's why Vegeta's my favorite, man. He's like, you know, like such a good backstory too. I love Vegeta's backstory too. It's like one of my favorite things is like, you know, he gives so much, he stops caring at one point about that. That's what makes him like such a good character and why he has such a good character arc is because he gives so much a shit about like, what is it? And Vegeta's this guy, by the way, for all the non-nerds out there. This dude here. So like his storyline is like again, this is more of a mindset thing that I kind of interpreted as well. Maybe I'm looking too deep into Dragon Ball Z stuff that's made for kids, but like he's like
go on. You keep going, Maddie.
Okay,
we're here
cool,
for
cool.
it.
All right, cool, awesome. But yeah, basically with him, like what I liked is like he's the king of all Saiyans, right? In his mind, he's this huge ego. He's like, I'm the king of all Saiyans. I'm the best of all of them, right? I'm the most powerful, right? And then he finds this, you know, kind of like bum, you know, like reject Saiyan who got, you know, sent to Earth or whatever, you know, as just kind of like, you know, some like, you know, peasant basically, right? And then, but the peasant is more powerful than him, right? And he's like, what? Like, how is he so powerful? And it's like, what? Like, how is this possible, right? And he tries to beat him and he can't beat him and he can't beat him. And then, even then, like, Goku goes Super Saiyan, right? He gets, you know, that crazy blonde flashing hair before Vegeta, right? And Vegeta's like so jealous, right? He's so envious. And then I think there's this one scene where he's like, he trains harder than ever before, right? He's training in like, I don't know, 600 times gravity or something. He goes to this planet and he just goes to there and he's like, you know, fucking fighting off all these like dragon, it's like he fights off this like dragon lord and then suddenly, you know, like one of the moons like collapses on the planet and he's like, no. And then he just finds himself at the bottom and he's like, dude, like, I don't give a shit anymore about this. Like, I don't care anymore. And that's when he becomes a Super Saiyan. So for me, it's like, oh shit, like, you just gotta like let go sometimes, right? It's the same thing. Like as a person, you know, you have this like ego and it's like everything must be perfect, it must be this way. And it's like, dude, like when you just let go, like, you know, that's when you really rise above as a person. So yeah, that's why I like Vegeta so much. But yeah, they really did Vegeta dirty, but I think that's part of his character arc, right? That's why he's such a good character. And then again, he hooks up with Bulma. Like Bulma is like, you know, like one of the hottest babes I've ever seen, to be honest. Like overly, like So yeah, don't worry, he got Bulma in the end. Don't even worry about that. Like he got Trunks as a kid. Okay, Trunks is cool as hell. Like Trunks and Vegeta are cool, and yeah, he hooked up with Bulma. So yeah, he's good to go. By the way, guys, create a you can create easily a. You guys can. Oh man, if you create a character similar to Bulma, I'm not showing you this because of this, but like, you guys should create like a turquoise haired model. I'm sure that would do well. And again, give her, you know, there's some of these where she has like such ridiculous proportions where I'm like, all right, like they really, you know, made her, they're not showing them here, but some of them were like these where she's all like thick. It's like, okay, like I'm sure there would be, again, like nerds out there who would be into this sort of thing. But yeah, you guys can create something like that in the future. All right. Better the casting couch. Yeah, I know about the casting couch, right? What is it like? This meme here. Where is it? So yeah, now you guys are going to put me on this couch, you know, like one of these. You're going to change my head, probably have all these guys, you know, with me, and then you'll put me here, and like something like that. All right. So yeah, please, we'll put it back on Bulma though. God, I do it in 2 steps. I first create the version, so I have my model, then I use that new video to generate the final one. Get a consistency. Okay. All right, I'll try that out. So you do it in 2 steps. Create a fresh version. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll try that. All right, it's vocal remover. Yeah, so vocal remover is free. You can use that. Like it. You're muted. Yeah, sorry guys, my bad. Love it. All right, awesome. So we're good to go there. Any questions, guys, before I go? Because I do have a call with my team. Any questions? You guys can pipe in right now. Oh boy. Oh, balaclava. Okay, so here's a screenshot of what I was talking about. You can strap your hair. Oh, so you're saying like with me, I could wear a balaclava. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so I could wear a balaclava, it would remove all my hair, and then it just makes, I guess, it's the swap easier. Okay. Okay, that does make sense. I just need to go and get a balaclava, I guess, and yeah, look like I'm not gonna go rob a store or something. Okay. Or I'll just order one on I'll order one on Amazon, and I won't get anything else that's too suspicious. All right, cool. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, I'll do that in the future. That will help me with future videos for sure. I'm sure that they do this as well, right? I know with a lot of stuff like the backgrounds, there's a lot of guys that use the green screen, and I do have a green screen here. I just need to get a stand as well for changing the background, so that is something I'm going to experiment with. Again, guys, like that was the first time I've tried to do something like this, and like that was kind of the output. So future ones, I'm going to say, were pretty sick. I showed this to some people, and they're like, dude, like, this is insane. They're like, you can do this stuff? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and they're like, and you do this like by yourself? Like, and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, all right, man, like this is insane. Like this is the point that AI is at right now. And again, it's only, I know Kling 3 just dropped the other day as well. And you can't even use Kling 3 right now because there's so many other people trying it out right now. But yeah, that's one thing as well. But yeah, guys, I would experiment with this again with your models. Like sky is the limit at this point, right? Again, you can, take someone else's movement. You can, points for the MF Doom painting. Yeah, man, I love MF Doom. I painted that myself, by the way. I am an artist, okay? And I've said this before. Real art and real physical media will always be more valuable than this AI stuff, right? Like that's the biggest thing. What I've always wanted to say, right? It's like physical media. One of my buddies has the best DVD and Blu-ray collection, and he always future-proofs himself, as he says. He's like, I always buy the next generation. Like now he's trying to see if he can get these like 8K versions of all these movies. He has like the 4K and Blu-ray ones, but yeah, physical media will always have that, right? But yeah, like art like that, again, to create something like that at this point would still take a lot of time, right? To create those pieces of art, what I had to do is it's stencil art, right? So because I used to be into graffiti, so what I would have to do is I would take the image, use contrast to create the different layers, and then print those out, and then cut it out with an X-Acto knife, right, for the different layers, spray paint it, right? You have to use like green tape in some cases, and again, you have to be so precise with the way that you're painting it, right? Let it dry a while, put on the next one, let it dry, put on a while, right? And then do the final kind of outline with everything. But yeah, glad you noticed that as well. And I did some stuff in my office. Those were too far back, I noticed, so I moved them a little bit. I put like a little drawer, a little shelf here as well, and I put my floating books. So yeah, I'm reorganizing my office even then, so it's more entertaining. And then I'll just keep this wall nice and clean. I got some paint because there's a couple of holes over there that I need to fill in. And then I got a new light for here because I hate this light and it's just too old and doesn't fill out properly. Yeah, so agreed. Human art and creativity is king. People always want it. Yeah, exactly. But let's get some bread. Exactly. People still want to do this, right? Like people, again, like there's so many options. I showed you. If you can create like someone who looks like Bulma, just don't call her Bulma for, like obvious reasons, right? Again, you'll probably get sued. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you can create those as well. But yeah, man, there's a lot of opportunity. And again, Bulma, someone with turquoise hair, that's, you know, a purple cow, as they say, right? It's something original that a lot of people I know with Aitana Lopez, it's like, okay, you know, she had, you know, like pink hair. That's really what made her stand out. But in a lot of cases, they probably put a lot of money into press to just promote her as well, to, you know, showcase her as well, and really highlight her as well. But, you know, that was kind of her unique selling proposition that made her blow up. So again, hair color is one thing, but, you know, it's also kind of the body type as well. Like I said, right? If you find one of those ones where, you know, it looks like Bulma, where her like proportions, like her hips to waist ratio are like, you know, like insanely unrealistic. What's that term called? Super normal releaser? I think it's called a super normal releaser, right? It's like when you see a woman, her proportions are so unrealistic, and it's like, oh my god, it's like you just see it and you're like, what am I looking at? Your brain just goes into like reptile mode, where it's like, oh my god. And it's the same thing with women, you know, like these women out there who are like gold diggers, where they see this like super rich guy and he has all this stuff. Like it's kind of like, you know, same sort of thing, male versus female sort of things. But yeah, like again, if you can create a woman with the crazy hips to waist ratio where it looks like unrealistic, and again, you give her a unique selling proposition with like turquoise hair, again, you know, and you do the turquoise hair properly, even the rainbow hair stuff I showed you, like why not, right? Like I just showed you guys, like it's not that simple. Take your model, be like, cool, here's rainbow hair, right? Like create some content with that. Really, you know, that's what you guys need to do. All right, guys, we went an hour and 15 minutes. I think that should be enough for today. I did record this and I'll share it with you guys. As always, appreciate you guys showing up. Again, if you could do me a solid and follow my Instagram and even share that with some other people to show them how much of a crazy human being I am and really what the possibilities are with AI. And yeah, guys, that's really it. I will see you guys next week. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Peace out.
Now you've got a full step-by-step breakdown of how to use Kling Motion Control. If you're building an AI model and want better results, make sure to subscribe. More tutorials like this are on the way. And if you're ready to start or grow your AI model business, check out Imagine Education, which has the largest community of creators actively building and monetizing their own AI influencers. That's it for today, though. Catch you on the flip side.